What's up? What's good? It's Matt Clark at the new Matt Clark. How are y'all doing today on this beautiful Saturday afternoon? I'm good. No work. That's always great. And I'm really happy because tomorrow I get to go and meet my girl's family. Not for the first time, but for the first real time I'll be able to just hang out with them. And that's important to me. So that's a good thing. Other than that, though, it's just a beautiful weekend. The weather's beautiful. I don't like it when it's too hot, so I like this. This is perfect for me. And, it is what it is. So I just want to say I love each and every one of the subscribers, new ones, old ones, all of you. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, please. Let's get to 1,000. I really appreciate it. And hit that like button. That matters. Let's get some discourse going here. Anyway, so I want to speak about prison a little bit because that's important as well. And I just want people to remain conscious of what's going on all the time when you're in prison. That's something you need to do. And there is a dark side. Most of the time things happen for a reason. You don't really get like random issues of violence and stuff like that. But every now and then, information gets crisscrossed improperly and somebody gets hurt for the wrong reasons or mistakenly. And it's a terrible thing to see, but it does happen. So you always have to be conscious. And a big reason why it happens is because people get defensive. Now, I'm going to speak on a situation that happened a long time ago when I was in Joyceville. I'm not going to say when, but there was some politics going on, okay? And a carton and a half of cigarettes got teefed. And that's a big teef. And back then, there was no box teefing. You know what I'm saying? That did not happen. So people obviously started talking and trying to figure out where these cartons went. Obviously, it was taken on the range because it was taken during the day. So obviously, an internal investigation kind of started happening. Now, somebody who had a certain nickname was seen taking packs of smokes up to somebody on a block upstairs. That nickname got mentioned, but what happened was they mistake that person for a different person who goes by the same name. Now that person had a reason for having those cartons, but the person who they said it was didn't. So the reality is he never had them, but when they approached him on it, he got super, super, super defensive, obviously, because they're accusing him of box thieving. And any real man is going to get defensive. But you have to get defensive in a smart way. This man is at the back of the range. And in Joyceville, the ranges are long. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, the number on the last cell can be up as high as the 40s. So they're long, long ranges. And at this time, there was no cameras. A couple doors on the range open up, and there's no vision for the officers. Okay? So anyways, this man got right defensive, and he's at the back of the range. Now, this guy is stacked. He's like 230, 240. Short guy, but just jacked, okay? And he wasn't appreciating being called a box thief. Now, the problem was, because he got so defensive, there was no conversation. It popped off right away. Now, the man got dummied. Now, originally, everybody on the range was down because they believed that this guy was a thief. But as things progressed and people started seeing how adamant this person was, like he's fighting 7 mans and he's still not giving up. You know what I'm saying? So it started becoming really obvious that this wasn't the guy. But the people that were involved in it obviously weren't paying attention to that because it had popped off. Now, the man got dummied, and this guy was such a beast, such a soldier, that he made it halfway down the block. Now, that's a long way to go with 7 people beating the crap out of you. You know what I'm saying? So, the man's just muscling through them, but finally, he went down. And when he went down, that's when things got ugly. Now, there's a point where a man is literally on his knees with the guy's head face down on the concrete between his legs, just raining down shots as hard as he can on the back of the man's head when his face is down on the concrete. Now, this is brutal, and it's happening right in the middle of the block. You know what I'm saying? And back in those times, this was how prison was. You violate in that kind of way, you're getting it. Those are rules that cannot be broken. You cannot touch another man's things. So anyways, the man's smashing him, and finally the man's out. Now the man gets up, and I figure this is done. And a man comes running out of the cell and pop, 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 pop. Hits the man 8 times through the back. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen somebody get stabbed, but it's not pretty, okay? Now, this guy is such a G that when he came conscious again, he got up, walked over to a cell, stood over in a cell, bleeding over a garbage can, saying, I ain't leaving, I ain't no checking, I ain't bouncing off no range. The man's face is so big and smashed that he literally looked like Worf, the Klingon. Like, this guy's head was mangled. And he had holes all through his lungs, and you could see that his lungs were punctured because he was bubbling. So we're telling him, bro, I know that you're a G. Like, this is not a pride thing. You cannot let pride get in the way of your life, bro. Like, you're gonna die if you don't go to healthcare. Just please go to healthcare. Everybody here, because the funny thing is this. As soon as the man was finished being cooked, they realized that they had the wrong person. And originally I was supposed to be involved, and I told them I'm not down because I could tell that he wasn't guilty. And the reality is, though, they all felt so terrible. But what can you say to a man that you just did that to? They literally walked up to the man 20 minutes after and told him sorry. Like, I don't get it, but whatever. Now, the man ended up going to healthcare, and it was a totally different time in prison. So, normally now, if somebody got cooked like that, they're done in that prison. You'll never see them there again. Incompatibles will be put on file and blah, blah, blah. But with this attack, nobody got caught. You know what I'm saying? So the man literally just went to healthcare, and the lifer group went to bat for the man, said that it was a mistake, and they brought the man back. And at that time, whoever the warden or whatever of the institution was at that time took the words of the convicts that nothing further would happen, and took the word from him, because he's a problem too. Don't get it twisted. He got cooked, but he's a problem. And that man also, shook on it and said nothing would happen. Now, does that mean the man ain't going to defend it later on if he ever bumps into those men? I don't know. It maybe already happened because that was a long time ago. But, man, the guy got cooked. And he was somebody who I respected, And when I first heard that he was a box thief, I was so disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Because I really like this person. And box thieving is a shameful thing in the pen. Like, that's a career killer. But then when I saw him defending it, and I saw how adamant and passionate he was of his innocence, I knew he didn't do it. I knew. So if you're watching this, you know who you are, brother. I love you. You're a true G, bro. That's some real rider shit. And ain't nobody can't take that away from you. And the fact that you kept your word to those lifers who went to bat for you and didn't attack those people, because I don't know if I could personally be able to live with people who did something like that to me. That takes a big man. And I know some guys will say it's soft, but it ain't soft, man. You put your word on something, and back in those days, that's all you had, okay? And certain people believed in that and still believe in that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Your word is all you got in the pen. You know what I'm saying? So once that's gone, once you lose that, you're finished. And for the most part in the Canadian, at least in Ontario, I can't speak on max because I've never done max time federally. But I know even in max, for the most part, if you move like a man, you'll be good. An alpha male, you can't move like a beta male in the pen. Like, there's lots of beta males in the pen, but believe me, those beta males are doing people's laundry, mopping people's floors, just doing bitch work all day long. And that sucks for those guys. And it gets to a point where you see guys get slapped up when they're not doing it, and that's terrible as well. Man, I'm really happy to be out of that life. I really think that every person deserves a real opportunity to turn their life around. The problem is our government doesn't supply that opportunity. You know, they take guys from these long stretches, they throw them out into the community and expect them within 6 months to have their life totally 180. And any time a con, whether he's trying or not, makes a mistake, a lot of the time, not any time, a lot of the time, they get violated and sent back, which is going to push them back in terms of progression. Maybe they have a job, maybe they have their apartment, and this is all stuff that they end up losing. So I just really want to drill home the point how important it is that if you have never been arrested or done time, really think about your choices. It's not a life that anybody wants to live. It's not cool. It's not fun watching people get their faces smashed and stabbed and cut throats and stepping over bodies on the way back from yard. That shit ain't cool, man. I'm telling you, it's not cool. And the real bad boys and the real men don't want to be there. They're caught up on some shit, and that's life. You know, we live, when you live in a certain code and you make certain choices, then you got to man up and take the consequences, you know. But I do feel like a lot of people would stay out of prison if that opportunity for growth was there. Rehabilitation was there. Just that choice. Maybe some trades. I remember before they had the metal shop, you could learn how to weld, do all that stuff. Now that stuff's gone. They took the money away, so nobody's working. And, you know, it's just a really tough life to live. So I really hope if any of you are thinking about taking that career path, you reconsider. And anybody who is in that career path, it's never too late, man. You can change. I'm telling you, it doesn't even take long. People will believe in you as long as you show that you're motivated and you're committed, and it's not a fake choice. So I really hope that my videos can push people in the right direction. I don't want to see anybody go to prison, except for child molesters. Obviously, they need to go to prison. But I really think that if we really make a push to try to encourage these programs that can offer something in terms of opportunity, then just maybe we can convince more people to take a different career path. And you know what? That catastrophic thinking and that lifestyle is what leads to addiction a lot of the time, because you're just in a box, you know, there's no opportunity, there's no way for you to improve. Therefore, you want to numb out. Anyways, just a quick video today. I just wanted to kind of drill home the point of how important it is that we make those changes in our life. It's not going to be easy. This is not soft. This is not that pussy shit. It's harder to stay out than to get arrested. It's harder to live on the street than to live in prison. I know the violence in prison is dangerous, but you don't have bills and any of that stuff you really got to worry about. I mean, you do. You still got families and all that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of the time, those stresses aren't there. And that's why we choose to live that lifestyle. You know, there's no real structure or commitment to any kind of responsibility. Anyways, I hope y'all like the videos. Please hit that bell notification button, hit that like button and that subscribe button. I'm going to keep trying to put out good videos. Love each and every one of you. At the new Matt Clark.